So good morning and welcome to the class. So we are on the chapter on polynomials. So we have to quickly revisit the content that we already have learnt in class 9. Now before I do that, I thought I will share the concept map of this entire chapter on polynomials because it will tell you what all is there in store for you in this chapter to learn. And it is also allowing you to connect with your previous knowledge which you already have. So let me share the concept map. Quickly, we will go through it. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just
Yes, ma'am.
go through the entire concept map. So this is how the central node starts with the polynomials. Here we have the introduction part, which is what exactly I'm going to do today. So in the introduction part, we are going to quickly revisit all the concepts that we have done in class 9. It starts with the degree of a polynomial, then what is the value of a polynomial, how do you find it, then the zeros of the polynomial, and when does a polynomial convert into an algebraic expression. All this we will be quickly seeing in the first video that I shall be playing. All right. Then from there, once the introduction is done and you're able to recall all that we studied in class 9, we will be quickly touching on the division algorithm for polynomials. This also you have done in class 9. How to divide a given polynomial with another polynomial. This was done in detail for you in class 9, where you learned the division of polynomials. So that is also going to be discussed quickly because it's again a revisit of your previous knowledge. Now this year, we will be touching on the geometrical meaning of the zeros of the polynomial. So what do you understand by a zero of your polynomial geometrically? So all that will be seen here. So geometrical meaning will take you through the linear, quadratic, as well as the cubic polynomial. So we will see how the geometrical representation of a linear polynomial would look like, how it would be for a quadratic polynomial, and how it would be for a cubic polynomial. So that is one major learning that we have to do this year. Then the second major thing is the relationship between the zeros and the coefficient of a polynomial. All right, so this is another learning point that we have. So this relationship we will be dealing in detail and we have to take up the problems based on these. And this is a very, very probable question in a section B, that is 2 marks question, to find the relationship between the zeros and the coefficients of a given polynomial. All right. So this is exactly what is there in store for us in the entire chapter. I'll just reduce the concept map and show it to you. So this is how the concept map or the entire chapter would be like. All right. So this is also a concept map which I have not created. This is something that my students have created last year, and see how nicely it is done. So once the chapter is going to begin, it was always told to them that you have to go through the chapter and prepare the concept map. So it gives you a rough idea of what is in store for you in the chapter. All right. So you also may start trying something like this. Maybe I can share this entire concept map in the classroom, or you can take a screenshot of this and replicate this in your classwork. This should be there in your classwork. All right. So make it a point to complete the concept map for all the chapters. I'll be doing this in the beginning of the chapter. Maybe at least when I finish the chapter, you should be knowing how to build your concept map, because that is complete learning. It gives the interlink between the various sub-concepts in a given chapter, and it also links it with your previous knowledge. So you must have this. This is a very, very useful tool, I should say. All right. So I think I'll stop share here and come back to my screen. Okay, now I'm going to share a video which will discuss on the degree of a polynomial and the zero of a polynomial. So I'm not going to pause the video in between. It may be a little fast. Never mind, because this is getting recorded. You can play it later on at your leisure and complete your notes. again and again I'm saying complete your notes with the video, because this is going to be very useful when you attend a quiz or when you do the objective type questions in your boards. All right, so don't neglect these notes that you are going to prepare. All right, I'm not going to send you any written notes. All these videos are your resources. You should listen to them and should be able to create your own notes. After all, what you have to look at the video and then write it down. So please do it very sincerely. So let me go and share my first video. I may have to mute from here, so you will be listening to the video only. All right. I hope my screen is visible. I can start playing then.
Each of these expressions is a polynomial because in each of these expressions, the variables are raised to whole number powers. So in each of the three expressions, all the variables have whole number powers. So these three are polynomials. Now this expression has just one variable x. So one variable x. So we can say it is a polynomial in one variable x. Similarly, this can be called as a polynomial in one variable r. This can be called a polynomial in two variables u and v because it has two variables u and v. So we can call this as a polynomial in two variables u and v. Now, we can denote this polynomial by any letter. Say we take p and we write the variable within brackets. So px denotes this polynomial in one variable x. Similarly, we can denote this polynomial by any letter. Say we take q and we write the variable r within brackets. This polynomial can be denoted by other letter, say h, and since there are two variables, we write both the variables within brackets. So huv is a polynomial in two variables u and v. So these three are the notations for these three polynomials. So while solving problems, in place of writing this entire polynomial, you can write px, where px stands for this polynomial in one variable x. This stands for this polynomial in one variable r. huv is this polynomial in two variables u and v. Now, do you remember what are linear polynomials? A linear polynomial is a polynomial which has degree 1. And what is the general form of a linear polynomial in one variable? So it can be denoted as fx. Fx is a polynomial in one variable x. And the general form of a linear polynomial in one variable is ax plus b. So we just have one variable x and the highest power of x is 1 here. So this is a linear polynomial in one variable, ax plus b. A and b are constants, whereas x is a variable. So a is the coefficient of x, it is a constant, and b is also a constant. Note that a cannot be 0 here. Why? If a is 0, this will become b. And what is the degree of this constant polynomial b? Because b is a constant. So what is the degree of this constant polynomial? Now b can be written as b into x to the power 0, because anything to the power 0 is 1. This is b into 1, that is b. So b can be written as b into x to the power 0. So the highest power of the variable here is 0. So the degree of constant polynomial b is 0. And this is the reason why in ax plus b, we cannot have a as 0. Because if a is 0, this will simply become b. And the degree of this is 0. So this will no longer be a linear polynomial. In this linear polynomial, we cannot have a as 0. Now gx is a linear polynomial in one variable. So let us compare this to the general form fx. Comparing it, we get the coefficient of x as 2. In this, the coefficient of x is a. So a is equal to 2 and b is equal to -7. Now what is the general form of a linear polynomial in two variables? So we have this polynomial in two variables xy, and the general form is ax plus by plus c. We have two variables x and y. Both have the highest power as 1. So it is a linear polynomial in two variables ax plus by plus c. Note that a, b and c are constants here, whereas x and y are variables. So xy are the variables which are written inside the bracket in this notation, and a, b, c are the constants. Again, a and b both cannot be 0, because if either of them is 0, then it will simply be a linear polynomial in one variable, and if both are 0, then it will become a constant term. So it will no longer be a linear polynomial. It will have degree 0. Now this is a linear polynomial in two variables. So we can compare it to the general form. So a is equal to 2. It is the coefficient of x. B is the coefficient of y. The coefficient of y here is 3. So b is equal to 3. C is the constant term. The constant term here is -7. So c is equal to -7. Note that it is not 7, it is -7, because we consider a plus c here. So this is plus -7. So c is -7. Now what is a quadratic polynomial? A quadratic polynomial is a polynomial of degree 2. That is, the highest power of the variable is 2. And a general form of quadratic polynomial in one variable is ax square plus bx plus c. Fx denotes a polynomial in one variable, and the general form of a quadratic polynomial in one variable is ax square plus bx plus c. So we have an x square term, we have a term with x, and we have a constant term. This is the general form of a quadratic polynomial. A, b, and c are the constants, and a cannot be 0, because if a is 0, then this will no longer be a quadratic polynomial, because the coefficient of x square will become 0 and this term will vanish. Now this is a quadratic polynomial, 3x square minus 7. So compare it to the general form. A is equal to the coefficient of x square, which is 3. What is b? B is the coefficient of x, but we do not have any x term here. So we can consider a 0x to be added. So the coefficient of x is actually 0. So b is 0. C is -7. So A is 3, B is 0, C is -7. So another important point to note here is, although A cannot be 0, but B can be 0. So in a quadratic polynomial, only A cannot be 0. That is, we need to have a non-zero coefficient of x square. Only then will it be a quadratic polynomial. Otherwise, B could be 0 or even C could be 0. Now this is the general form of a polynomial in one variable and degree n. That is any degree n. N could be any whole number. That is 0, 1, 2, 3. N could be any whole number. So this is the general form of any polynomial in one variable. So this variable is x, fx, an x to the power n, an minus 1 x to the power n minus 1, an minus 2 x to the power n minus 2, and we go on till a1 x1, a0 x to the power 0. X to the power 0 is 1 because anything to the power 0 is 1. So we can simply write it as a0. This is the constant term. So an minus 1, an minus 2, all these are constants. Whereas these are the variables raised to different powers. So we take all the powers of the variable starting with n and go on decreasing it till we reach the constant term. And this is the general form of a polynomial in one variable x and degree n. Now, should there be any constraint on this constant as we had earlier? Think about it. Well, yes. Since it is of degree n, so an cannot be 0. So an cannot be 0 because if it is 0, then this term will vanish and the degree of this polynomial will become n minus 1. So it cannot be a general form of the polynomial of degree n. So an cannot be 0. And this is the constraint we'll have to impose. Now consider this polynomial x cube minus 2x squared plus 3x plus 11. What is the degree of this polynomial? The degree of this polynomial is 3 because the highest power of the variable is 3 and it is a polynomial in one variable obviously because only x is present. So this is x cube minus 2x squared plus 3x plus 11 and we take n is equal to 3 because the degree is 3 and we substitute this n in the general form. This is the general form which we had seen. We substitute n is equal to 3 in the general form. So we can write it as a3 x cube plus a3 minus 1
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am, will you stop?
Ma'am, video is stuck.
Ma'am, video stopped, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. I think ma'am is not there.
To read.
Sorry, there was a power cut here, and hence I had to rejoin. So I think I have to start recording again, and I have to again share my screen also. Am
Yeah,
I
ma'am. Our
yeah,
area
am I
also.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am.
can't help it. Sometimes it happens like that. So
Yeah,
I
ma'am.
resume the play from where I have stopped. So don't worry about that. But only thing is I have to start recording again. So give me 2 minutes. Okay, the recording is on, but there may be some pause in between. All right. So then let us continue with the sharing. I will replay from wherever we have to do actually, maybe. 1 second, I have to see. I'm tracking the attendance also again because it is once lost, again I have to collect it. So there are so many things I'm doing. Don't leave the meet and run away. Okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, ma'am. It's visible.
Yeah, okay, then now I'm going to mute off from here so that I can resume the play. All right. Just 1 minute. Huh? That is not resuming. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm going to resume the play from wherever it was stopped. Okay, so you continue watching. All these are important notes that you have to prepare. That's why I'm doing the video again. Actually, this is a class 9 concept, which I don't have to so much struggle here, but still I'm doing it because in the objective type questions, many of these questions will be there. Degree of polynomial, general form of polynomials. Then you will also be asked about what is the degree of a constant polynomial. There are some important questions she's trying to focus your attention on. So you must write all this down in the classwork so that when you revise for the boards, you have all this content with you. All right?
Yes, ma'am. The highest degree.
Yeah.
this way, we can derive the general form of the polynomial of any degree. So we have seen the general form of polynomial of degree 1, of degree 2, of degree 3, and using this general form, that is the general form of a polynomial in degree n, we can derive the general form of a polynomial of any degree. Now, if all the coefficients are 0, that is if an minus 1, an minus 2, a1, a0, all the coefficients are 0, then what will you get? This entire thing will become 0 into x to the power n plus 0 into x to the power n minus 1 and so on. So we'll have this. Now 0 into anything is 0. So all the terms will become 0. So this will become 0. So if all the coefficients are 0, we get a 0 polynomial. So this is a 0 polynomial. But what is the degree of this 0 polynomial? Now this 0 can be written as 0 into x cube. In this case, the degree will be 3. It can be written as 0 into x squared. In this case, the degree will be 2. It can be written as 0 into x to the power 100. In this case, the degree will be 100. So actually, we cannot say for sure what is the degree of the 0 polynomial. And hence, we say that the degree of the 0 polynomial is undefined. So the degree of the 0 polynomial is not defined.
Okay, I think you have gone through the video and then you have made up your mind as to what are those important points that you have to note down in your classwork. Now, there are two interesting questions which I have for you. Maybe if you are able to understand, you can answer them now. Otherwise, maybe at least by tomorrow, you can get back to me. Now, the first question is a 0 polynomial a constant polynomial? I shall repeat the question. Is a 0 polynomial a constant polynomial? The second question is a 0 polynomial and the 0 of a polynomial the same? The second question is a 0 polynomial and the 0 of a polynomial the same? Are they the same? So if you know the answer, you can react now. You can tell me. My first question was, is a 0 polynomial a constant polynomial? Or what is a constant polynomial? First, if you can tell me what is a constant polynomial, then maybe we can discuss the 0 polynomial that she just now discussed.
Ma'am,
constant
polynomial means the polynomial which there is no degree for that polynomial.
Okay, you're saying a constant polynomial does not have a degree. Then
Yes,
what about a
degree.
0 polynomial? Okay, give me an example of a constant polynomial, any one of you. Any example of a constant polynomial?
3x. Ma'am, 3x.
3x. 3x is a constant polynomial. No, I would say 3x
only
is
3.
a
Ma'am,
linear
only
polynomial.
3. Only
Sorry?
3.
3x is a linear polynomial because x is having a power 1 there. Just now she has discussed a quadratic, a linear and a cubic polynomial. A cubic polynomial has degree 3, a quadratic has a degree 2 and a linear has a degree 1. So 3x means it is a linear polynomial because x is having power 1. Now I am talking about constant polynomial. Any real number, it can be -1, it can be 2, it can be √2, it can be 3/5. All these are constant polynomials. All right. It can be 3/5, it can be √2, it can be -3, it can be +4. So I have touched on all kinds of numbers. That's why I told any real number will be a constant polynomial. And next question is, what is the degree of a constant polynomial? Very important questions I'm
And
asking.
0.
Yes, the degree of a constant polynomial is 0 because any real number can be written as x to the power 0. If I say 2 by 5 is a constant polynomial, I can write it as 2 by 5 into x to the power 0. Should I get back to the board? I'm just thinking. Anyway, the board is behind me. I have to raise my tripod. Okay, let me see how much I can write. Okay, some part of the board is visible, no? I will make
Yeah,
use
ma'am,
of
it's
that.
visible.
I'll make use of that. Now, these are important questions which may happen in your quiz and which may happen in your board exams also. So, we were talking about constant polynomial. I told all these are constant polynomials.
Can you a little bit lift your...
Yeah, I'll just come. Okay, I'm writing above, is it? Okay, sorry. One second.
Yes, ma'am.
Should be enough, I think.
Little bit. Little. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm just adjusting my tripod. Just give me 2 minutes. All this is unplanned, so I am struggling. Now, because I want to use the board, I'm just doing it. Okay, I'll just come back. Okay, these were some of the examples I have taken for constant polynomial. All these are constant polynomials because it can be written as x to the power 0 or y to the power 0 or z to the power 0 or maybe r to the power 0. So a constant polynomial will have a degree 0. But what about a zero polynomial? A zero polynomial means this is a zero polynomial. 0 itself is a zero polynomial. Now how is it different from a constant polynomial? A constant polynomial will have some value because it will be any other real number other than 0. Once that real number becomes 0, then that polynomial will be a zero polynomial. Illi degree ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? What should be the degree of a zero polynomial she was just discussing now? What's the degree of a zero
Zero
polynomial?
only.
Degree of a zero polynomial is not 0. Degree of a constant polynomial is 0. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು x to the power 0 ಅಂತ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೇನು finally the value is going to become 0. That's why she said it is undefined. In that video it was discussed
Yeah, ma'am.
that the degree of a zero polynomial is undefined. Alright, so this you must keep in mind. This is a very, very important point which is made in the video. And that's why I played the video. Because so many important things were getting discussed there. Alright, now let me get back to the second video where we are talking about the zero of a polynomial. That's exactly my second question which I was asking. Is zero polynomial as well as zero of a polynomial the same? They are not the same. Zero of a polynomial ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ meaning ಇದೆ. But zero polynomial ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು. ನನ್ನ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಿರೋದೇ zero polynomial. So how a zero of a polynomial is different from the zero polynomial is what we have to see. I think that video will run for let me check. I think it's almost 18 minutes video. So I'll do one thing because we are running short of time now. I think I will share that video in the classroom. Please go through that video. We will have a discussion in the class tomorrow maybe.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, when
Should
is our
that be
quiz?
okay? Yeah, along with this video that we are just completing now. Let me stop the recording here.